I have another lie to admit to, guys. I have another lie to admit to. We knew the gender. We knew the whole time. But the reason we said we didn't know is because, and thank God, because I slipped up. I said it the other day. I said girl or boy, but obviously we don't know yet. But I know. So I was like, a few of you, I was like, I did, yeah. Sorry, oopsie. But we lied because we knew that we'd slip up. If we didn't lie, I was like, if I slip up, everyone's going to know that I've slipped up. Whereas if I lie and say we don't know and I slip up, I can say, well, you guys know we don't know yet, so it wasn't a slip up. Because we knew that we were going to say it soon. So I was like, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, some people said about the nub theory. The thing is, some people said the nub theory, they were like, it's a boy. And I was like, well, it's not. Supposedly. When did you find out? Weeks ago. A few weeks ago. A lot of chat was convinced it was a boy because of how low my bump is. When everyone was saying the bump was low and I was like, oh, bump update. I feel like I'm massive today. Like, I feel huge. It's the biggest I've looked. But I think it's just gnocchi, to be honest. No, it's clearly not a thing about the bump being low because my bump's low and I'm having a go. But yeah, I feel bigger today. I mean, other days I do feel bigger and then I shrink again. Like, bodies are weird, but we will see. But I feel a bit drained today. It's not going to be a super long stream. I know, and Sophie's having a boy. So yeah. Honestly, having Sophie to do this with, we're so close. Like, we are so close in our pregnancies. It's so, so, so nice. Because I didn't really have... Well, I didn't have any... I've told this story already for anyone that missed it. I put in my girls group chat that Sophie's not in, it's a different group chat, saying like, why are none of you pregnant? Like, this is so fucking rude that I have to do this by myself. Like, actually fucking rude from you. And about 30 minutes later, Sophie put in another group chat that some of us are in with her scan. And we were like, what are the fucking chances? So I phoned her immediately and was like, bitch. So that was fun. Little boy's too in March. Would love a little girl. So, so, so cute. Any names yet? Honestly, no. We've like spoken about names and stuff, but we don't have a name. But when we do have a name, we won't tell anyone. Like, we're not going to tell friends. We're not going to tell family because I do not trust people's faces to not tell me what they think of it. And I don't want it to ruin a name. Aurora is one name that is an absolute no. Because it's one of my dearest, closest girly pops. No one that you'll know. She's not on the internet. But it's her #1 baby name. So if I literally said to her the other day, I said to her, I was like, oh, we've thought of a name, like as a joke. And she was like, oh, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm thinking like Aurora. And she looked at me and literally went, that's so, I was like, I'm obviously joking, babe. I remember that's your #1 name. She was like, oh my God. She was like, I didn't want to say anything. But she was like, oh, that's such a nice name. I was like, I'm joking. Obviously, I would never. Dub friend not crashing out. I know. Sam actually is a cute girl's name though. I like gender neutral names. I think they're really cool. But yeah, like I said, we don't have like a name that we're trying to be. We've got names that we've spoken about and we're like, that's cool. Nothing's stuck yet. Maybe it'll be one that we've spoken about, who knows? But we shall see. Change your title. Excuse me. You're back again for 51 months. Every stage was my favourite, so different. New one is new bubble, the snuggles. Wait, let me read that. Now it's learning new words. I think that's one of the best stages, is when they start to have personality and speak and like laugh and so sweet. There were names that I in my head thought of and then became pregnant, whatever you want to call it, and then was like, would never use that name. But in my head would have thought that was at like the top of my list. But feel free to DM me cool names. Feel free. My cousin is 16 months. His favourite thing to say is all right, Bab. Do you know what? I love it when kids have like an accent. Like Olive says like girls and babe. And it's one of my favourite things. Like Faith will sometimes just send me videos of Olive saying like she'll be like, oh, say like, all right, babe. And then I'll be like, all right, babe. And it's honestly one of the cutest things ever. Like, it's so cute, her little Essex accent. Oh, I love it. And she says girls instead of girls, which is so cute. She's a little Essex queen. Uncle Bosh, yeah. No, we'll say the name after birth. I just don't want people to put me off of something and then ruin it. My mum's really not happy about that. She was like, you have to tell me. I was like, I don't have to do anything, actually. She was like, but what if you don't think of something? What if, she actually, I'm not going to say what she said, but she goes, what if you think, like, what if I think of something that will ruin a name for a good reason and you've not thought of that and then it's too late? And I was like, I just don't think, she was like, you said you like the name, whatever, which I know you're not going to use now, so I can say it. And I was like, Mum, at no point did I say I wasn't going to use that name, but go on, ruin the name for me. Do exactly what I told you were going to do. And she was like, it's like, go on. And then the excuse she gave, I was like, that's shit, but whatever. So funny. I was like, Mum, I told you. Although my sister is probably the only person I would trust saying a name. Because I said a name the other day and she misheard me and went, oh, repeated it and went, oh, that's lovely. And I was like, ew, no, not that. And she was like, oh, thank God. I was like, no, you misheard me. Isabella, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. But I would never, ever have known on her face. She was like, oh, I love it. 10 out of 10. So funny. Do you think she'll have ginger hair? If she has ginger hair, I would think that I cheated on Simon, and I obviously know that I haven't. I mean, I know that ginger's like a recessive gene, I think, so it can just crop up, but we don't have, my family are Italian, like there's not a hint of ginger, like there's not a hint of ginger. I know that I'm ginger right now, but this was on purpose. And Simon's got no red in his beard, no red in his hair, like none of his family do. I'm saying that, and if this baby comes out with red hair, that's gonna look sass. But like, I really don't think there is any chance of us having, I would love to have a redhead girl. Fucking hell. Red hair, 10 out of 10. So cool. But there's literally no chance. Like, there's actually no chance. Do you think she'll have blue eyes? So Simon obviously has blue eyes, so he's got the blue gene. He's got 2 blues. I don't know. So science lesson. I'm going to pretend that everyone doesn't know how it works, but for everyone that does know how it works, just pretend that you don't. The basics of eye genes are you have 2 colors. Brown is dominant and blue is recessive. So you have to have 2 blue genes to make blue eyes. You can have a blue and a brown, but you'll have brown eyes. I might have a blue-brown gene because my sister has blue eyes. So both of my parents clearly have brown, blue, because my parents have brown eyes. And they both gave my sister a blue gene. So there's a chance, our baby has a 50-50 chance of having blue eyes. Well, actually, not necessarily, because I might have brown. If my gene is brown, the baby has brown eyes. But if I have a blue-brown gene, then they've got 50-50 chance. I will be the decider. Whatever gene I give our baby will be the colour of their eyes. There's a 25% chance you have brown. There you go. That's the basic of it. Obviously, there's other factors into having green, like, because I've actually got something called central heterochromia. But yeah, Simon technically doesn't have a say in her eye colour because he's only got blue genes. I wish that made sense to me, but it sounds cool. So we'll see. Yeah, calling her Minnie would have been an actual bullying experience. Yeah, I think I'm going to post the girls' reaction tomorrow. Post the reactions, all of them. I've got my sister, my mum, my cousin, and the girls. I think they're the only ones I'm posting. Yeah, and G's was separate. G's is funny. Oh, it'll be on TikTok, yeah. I need to just record little bits in between them because I wasn't recording them to post. I was just recording them to have as memories, so there's no explanation in them. No, Faith's not in it. Faith I didn't tell in person. We live so far apart. What was Faith's reaction? So I texted her. I didn't like FaceTime her because she's got a baby. I'm not trying to like invade, busy girl. But I texted her and I was like, so, because I was really ill at their wedding. I had to leave a little bit early. Not early, like I left at like 8 p.m, 9 p.m. I pushed through, but I was not well. I was popping them anti-sickness pills like please. So I texted her being like, by the way, I lied at your wedding. I did not have food poisoning. And then she was like, what do you mean? Did your mum keep any of your baby clothes? I don't think so, no. I'm not really a physically sentimental person. Like, I am a little bit with certain things. Like, I've still got my lanyard from when I met Simon. Because I knew. I fucking knew, mate. It's called the baby wireless. But I don't think I'll be keeping much from when she's baby. Like, I might keep her first baby grow. I keep cards with nice messages in. But I've never been like that. I know 7 would be... I did think about that, but I was like... One of the things that puts me off 7 is 1, means too much. The second, if we had a second baby, which to be honest, now I'm pregnant, I'm less inclined to do, but whatever. We'll pretend that we're gonna have another one. How do you give one baby a name that's 7, you know? And then the other baby's like 17. And it's also David Beckham's daughter's middle name. Yeah, that's also what puts me off. But I think it's cool, but I wouldn't use it. It'd be on my list of like names I like but wouldn't use. Oh, did Anne-Marie call her baby that cute? Like, I like it as a name, but it's got too much, I think. 7. Oh, like the river. Yeah, I want to react to the Mr. Who's the Boss videos. I kind of want to do it in one go though. Ladies' reactions will be out tomorrow, I think, on my TikTok. But yeah, I was going to say, if any of you have name ideas, if you're name people, you love names, DM me. Send me messages because I will be reading, and if you have a name that's cute or like you have a name that you like, send it over, because if you've got a good one, I'm putting that on my list. I'm putting it on my list. Has your ASD/autism diagnosis, hang on, changed much for you as an adult? My son is ASD, 6 years old, fully diagnosed with other things too, like global development delay, etc. Versus me as an ADHD diagnosed. Did it make a difference to your life being diagnosed as an adult, if that makes sense? It depends what you mean. Do you mean in the sense of like, and different in my adult life, or was my childhood different because I found out late? My childhood was a bit different. However, I didn't have delay. I didn't have speech delay. I didn't have developmental delay. Like, there wasn't anything that hindered me from interacting on a surface level that a lot of people will be able to pick up on. So in that sense, it was quite good me being delayed diagnosis because I had to cope. Like, it was not great for me as a child, a bit like, this is fucking stress and difficult. Why is life so much harder? Like, what's going on? But it means as an adult, I get through life a little bit easier because I had CBT on my own. It was cognitive behavioral therapy without even realizing it. My body did it naturally. I found ways to cope because that's the only way you get through. It's the only cure, it's the only whatever you want to call it, like help for ASD is CBT, which as an adult he was like, you don't need this because you've essentially done it your whole life. You've gone through the process. So in that sense, it was good being diagnosed late, but being diagnosed now, it is useful. It's just useful to explain things because sometimes there isn't an explanation. That is the only explanation. When I'm like, I don't want to do that and it's freaking me out, I've got an explanation. It's like this because my brain's wired differently. That's why I'm not just being like, not difficult, because it doesn't really come across as difficult in most scenarios. It's that I don't want to go to a club or I don't want to be with the really loud noise. It's not a particularly like, oh, she's being so difficult. It's not really seen like that, but it just makes a little bit more sense. Life makes more sense, you know? Yeah, people also, yeah, they love to not believe you, especially if you wear makeup, if you're into fashion, if you're doing if you're doing well in your career, if you're successful, they assume you can't possibly have autism. They're like, there's no way. You're a girl, you're successful, you like makeup, you like things to do with your appearance. You can't be. It's like, well, it's not really how it works, sir. You know? Anyone doesn't believe you obviously hasn't watched any content I fear. No, but honestly though, Liv, like, I remember when I spoke about it on stream for the first time and everyone in chat was like, yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. Whereas people who'd never watched a video of mine or don't watch me on a daily basis are just like, no, you're not. And I'm like, it's because you don't know me. You know them asking me. Why are you telling us something new, babe? No, literally all of you were like that. All of you said, you were like, didn't we know this already? I was like, no, you didn't know this. Yeah, like all the comments on that video were like, oh, people just want to have something nowadays. And I'm like, trust me, with the what's it called, with the stigma that autism has, you think I'm trying to walk around going, hi, I'm autistic? No one's trying to do that on purpose. Like, autism has enough of a stigma. No one is choosing to have that label. Literally. Do you feel you missed out on anything from not being diagnosed as a child, as he has an educational healthcare plan in place that legally protects him through education? Interesting. Wonder if you feel it's helped your relationships, helped you find new coping mechanisms, or if you feel that ASD diagnosed hinders your medical care. Interesting. Do you know what? I've not noticed it, I'll be honest. But I am medically, I'm very assertive. So I grew up with a few health issues and I was in and out of hospital for a period of time that taught me how to behave and how to be trusted more in the healthcare system. And it obviously doesn't work all the time because you still have idiots. But I don't think it's affected me necessarily being diagnosed and having that on my medical records, because I'm a good talker. I make a lot of sense. I'm concise, I'm clear. And I think that helps a lot in a medical sense. I was so overlooked as a child when I had all my health issues, and it was so much back and forth that we quickly learned what you need to do and how you need to speak and what you need to say to be taken seriously. So I think, yeah, as a child, I think it's so much harder because it doesn't matter what you say as the mum. It's like, yeah, but look, like, he's just being dramatic. He's just overstimulated. It's like, So I think it hasn't affected me in that sense. I'm also, obviously there's a spectrum. I'm also not as far on the spectrum as I could be. Like I'm socially, internally I might struggle, but visually you're not going to necessarily see that. I mean, you guys might see it because you see me, a lot of me. But if you meet me for 10 minutes, no one would immediately think autism. Maybe someone would. But masking is a skill though. At 28 years practice, babe. I was a very different teenager to what I am as an adult. Conversation as a teenager was very different. I did not have friends. I really struggled to get my point across. Like, even now I misunderstand emotions, and I think I understand facial expressions, and I'm like, oh, this is so easy. And then I do one of those tests and it's like, I've got every single one wrong. I'm like, right, okay, I can't read people anywhere near as well as I think I can. But I'm much better now because I've literally studied it. There was a period in my teen years where I studied, what's it called? Not gestures, body language. I read a whole book on it because I was like, I'm fed up of getting things wrong. And this is obviously before I was diagnosed. I was like, I need to be able to, so that was me coping. I read so much. I learned so much about it. And that helped me a lot. A lot. I didn't hug any of my family when I was a child. I found it really difficult. I did not like being touched. But again, I was like, right, this is not something that I can do. So I essentially just started being, I was about to say acting. I just started acting. I was like, okay, this is not me. I'm just going to be a ball of fire inside and push through it. So I'm at the point on the spectrum where, okay, I have these symptoms, I have these things, but I can push through them and pretend they're not there and just feel the rage inside and then just push through it. You know, the most successful people ever have autism. Yeah. Oh, 100%. I think it's, you know, yeah. And that's the thing with children specifically as well. Finding their special interest, and when they get into that, it's so incredible to watch. And we've got someone fairly close to me who has, or someone I know, a child, and you can just see by the way they interact. I'm like, they're going in for a diagnosis soon, and I have no doubt that's what they'll be diagnosed with. But watching them in their special interest and how they interact and how their personality changes around that is so interesting. So interesting. I've only played 365 in it and no other music since it came out. Big ups to you. Will you be changing your hair again before the baby? 100%. This is not the colour I want it to be. Half of my hair has fallen out though with my last bleach, so we will see what colour ends up. There is zero chance of her being an indie girl. I mean, maybe when she's a teenager and she has friends that play her different music, but she won't be hearing any of that music around us. We don't play it. She'll be into R&B and Taylor Swift and some rap. That's about it. Genuinely, how does it feel to be pregnant? So I've not had a good experience with it so far. Yeah, I've not had a great experience with it physically, like physiologically. It's not been good to me. So yeah, not amazing. Could have been worse. Could have been a lot better. But it's one of those things that also, it will be fine. It will be worth it. It's gone quickly so far. Would you do an unmedicated birth? No. Unless it's literally like, sometimes you don't have a choice. Baby just comes, you gotta just push, you gotta just go. But no. Like, no. No part of me wants to do that. I know some people are like, I want the challenge. No. Why? Why? You know that shit hurts. Do you know how much that shit hurts? More than you could ever probably fucking know. When they do it because they don't want an epidural because of potential risks, 100% go for it. Slay. If you think you got that in the bag, love that for you. But when people are like, your bodies are designed to do this. Your body's meant to do this. I'm like, yeah, bitch, but women used to die. Like, what? Girly pops used to just drop dead all the time giving birth. So we're meant to do this, but also we're not very good at it sometimes. So no, I'm not going to be doing that. No, I will take all the doctor input that they want. You think I should do this? I'll do that. You tell me to do that? Yes, I will be doing it. Nope. My body is, but I'm not. But it's true. Like, and also I know so many people, I know people that have given birth unmedicated and they were like, do you know what? It was all right. And I'm like, fucking slay. I'm not you. I will never be. Do I have it in me? No. Does part of me think I could do it? No. Simply. Yeah, we're meant to stand up and like, it's just, there's just so many things that I just think, I think she's gonna look like Simon because Simon's family genetics are fucking crazy. Everyone in his family looks identical. Literally everyone. So I don't think I have a chance. Yeah, water birth if you can't have an epidural. I fully see that. Like the idea of a water birth sounds so magical. And when people want that, I'm like, I so get it. Like I actually so get it. I just not physically capable of experiencing that much pain. I know that. I'm so self-aware. There is no way. There is no way. Absolutely not. No. Nope. Would Simon cut the umbilical cord? I don't know. I said to him, I was like, would you cut it? And he was like, I don't know. I think he's a little bit freaked out by the idea of it. But I said to him, I was like, if you think you can, you should, because you don't want to regret it. I don't think you're going to regret doing it. You might be like, whoop. Freya, I've seen her hold a baby before, and she was like, but how? She was like, are you not scared you're going to drop them? I was like, no, I just won't drop them. She was like, yeah, but you might. And I was like, no, but I won't. I just trust myself to not drop a child. And she was like, I don't think I do. But I would 100% trust all of the girls holding my child. I would give Freya my baby in a heartbeat without even thinking to explain to her how to do it. Because I know that she would be more than capable. Do you know what? Simon's never held a baby. Like a baby. Which is wild to me. I've held so many. If I see a baby, I'm like, can I hold your baby? My sister's a child, I would not be breathing near it. That's so funny. Oh, that's one thing I'm so excited to see my sister around my child. Because she is not a baby person. She never has been. But this will be her biological niece. Like this will be the close. We've got cousins. But this will be, and she loves them obviously. But this will be the first time she's got such a strong biological tie to a baby. So she was like, I don't know how I'm going to feel around the baby. She was like, I'm a little bit nervous. Although that was something else that I learned. I was like, sorry, what the fuck? Babies aren't allowed hard shoes until they're, I don't know what the age is. But I was like, what? Why? Don't matter. They're not even walking. But apparently, yeah, it's bad for them. They can only wear like socks and soft shoes. Like they can't have soles on. What? What do you mean? Makes sense, but it also doesn't. Baby leads kit, yeah. Yeah, I think it's until they can walk. Yeah, it squishes their little feet. Oh, I can hear the demon dog. Hello. Hello. Hi. You're just really excited. She's trying to put my arm in her mouth and then it's like, that's not a toy. Yes, I think so, Sam, because I'm not a very strong swimmer and I drowned when I was 19. So definitely going to be teaching our child to swim from very, very early. Was not a good time. Don't recommend drowning. No, like I didn't die. Like they didn't need to do that. But I was unconscious, yeah. But I was unconscious before. I didn't die. Well, no, because you can die and come back. I didn't do that. I stayed alive the whole time. I keep seeing TikToks of people feeding, people parking outside hospitals to feed their babies peanut butter. I do always think that though. I'm like, oh, interesting. So I don't know what my blood type is, but I guess it's not an issue because they've tested the baby already. 7% of my blood was hers. 7% of my DNA in my blood was her DNA. They said when they did I did like a blood test to find out if there were any potential genetic issues and the gender. And they said, well, they look for 3 to 4%, but 7% of mine is hers, which is kind of fun. 7! I didn't even think about that. Fun. She's a girl. I literally didn't even think about that until just now. Not her being iconic already. How did I feel when I found out? I was excited, but also like, holy, I mean, it was planned as much as planned can be planned. But still, I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I freaked out a little bit. I thought it would take a lot longer. Exactly, that's what I mean. You don't plan for a baby in the sense that your body will just either let you or not let you. But yeah, there is a video on TikTok of me finding out. How long have you wanting a kid, if you don't mind me asking? So I grew up and I didn't want kids growing up. And then honestly, it was when I met Simon. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll do kids. So actually, I've never told this story because obviously it wasn't appropriate at the time. But I always, after being in a serious relationship with Simon, I was like, no, I want kids. And randomly I'd go through phases of like, I want a baby now. Some girls will get it. It's just a thing with our hormones that you just literally get to that point and you're like, I need one now. I need one right now. And like at Vic's wedding, I remember we came back to the, not the apartment. It wasn't his wedding, but it was his wedding, like when we were away for his wedding. We went out one of the nights. I think I need some water. I don't feel great. We went out one of the nights and Olive was there. And I came back home with Simon and I sobbed. And I was like, I need a child. I literally was sobbing. And I was like, when like I'm in the middle of my music career, I'm signed to a label. I don't know when I'm going to be able to have one. Like, this is horrible. This is the worst thing ever. And Simon was there like, bro, it's fine. Like, we'll just see how it goes. Like, don't worry about it. And I was like, no, not screaming, but like, no, I was so emotional. And then he was kind of like, well, maybe, why don't we just say from January, we'll just go for it. And I was like, eh? Snap me right out of that. What do you mean? No, I'm okay. And at any time I'd bring it up and be like, I remember the first time because it's always a running joke in relationships. You'll say like, when we have babies, and the boy were like, all right, chill out. And after we got married, I was like, yeah, when we have babies. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, what do you mean, yeah? And he was like, well, that's kind of the next logical step. And I was like, whoa. Whoa. I was like, I'm going to leave the room because this is too real of a conversation and I don't want to have it right now. And I literally walked out the bathroom and he was like, what the fuck? And I was like, you can't switch up on me like that. We've always done this back and forth where I go, I want a baby, and you go, chill out. Whereas you just gone, yeah, okay. No, that was not the thing that I was looking for. I was so just like, yeah, so that snapped me out of that one real quick. And then it kind of just fell on where my career was and where I felt like, okay, when can I take that sort of time? But yeah, so funny. I have a really weird side effect of being pregnant right now, where if I drink something fizzy and I forget about this side effect, I get jump scared by my hiccup, but hiccup really badly to the point where if I downed it, I would throw up. I take like a big gulp and I literally, and like, but like I then scare myself and I go every single time. But I remember, so I'm gonna drink this appropriately. I have to drink it slowly and prepare myself mentally for the feeling that I'm gonna get. It's not too bad right now, actually. It was so bad earlier, but I get it when I eat and I get it really bad when I drink fizzy drinks. I don't have heartburn yet. I actually used to have really bad heartburn growing up, so I expect it to come back, but not yet. Yeah, this is, I've already shown it a few times, but it's so big today. Like, it's so big today. I feel massive. Bump is bumping. But I was saying this earlier, James, that like, I don't know if it's the same with Soph, but like, it changes constantly. So some days I wake up and I'm like, Skinner. And sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I think Moto likes you. Like, it's literally crazy. Hey, bastards! I keep saying that to Sophie and I'm like, I'm probably scaring her. She's probably like, can you leave my child? Go to